Hey everyone, it's been a long time. Took a several week hiatus because life got in the way a little bit, but finally back. We'll be playing catch up a little bit, probably filming back to back, at least several reviews tonight. So today I'm going to be looking at the Siege on Cybertron box set from Titan's Return. Something I've been meaning to do for a while. I've been holding on to this box, trying to keep it out of the kids' hands. Well, I waited to do this review. So, we'll start out. This is the box itself. It's big. And there's a nice little battle scene on here. Lays out the 5 characters in there. Got a little strength symbol. Nothing remarkable on the side. Shows the toys here. Little breakdown. Yeah. One thing that a lot of people that have this or have seen have noticed, look here, it says Beast Wars. Also on this side of the box has the Beast Wars logo in its classic green. And when people first spotted this, caused some pretty rampant speculation. Thought maybe it was hint at like some sort of return of Beast Wars proper, or maybe it was a hint at the overall theme of the next box set that was expected at the time. Hasbro since confirmed that there won't be any more box sets, which it's a crying shame. But the whole premise of this was 4 box sets based on each of the modern tech spec attributes. You got speed, strength, intelligence, and fire blast or firepower for those of us that don't speak in made up words. So. A lot of people probably expected, I don't know, one of the next 2 to be beast themed. All right, let's look at the poster. All right, this is the poster that comes with the box set. It's just a more clear image of the little fight scene that's on the box. It's really neat. You got Metal Hawk, you got Magnus Prime back here. There's base mode. You got Pounce. You got little Thunderwing Titan Master, and then all the way back here, looking huge, you have Tidal Wave. And this is misleading because Tidal Wave is actually pretty small in toy form. He's only a Voyager. But, back has a summary of the box set, kind of the situation that they're in. And then it goes into detail on each one of the characters. It's a really neat little collectible to have. Alright, these are the figures themselves. We've got a Titan Master Thunderwing. We've got Pounce of the Pounce and Wingspan duo. For anyone that's familiar with the old G1. You've got a deluxe class Metal Hawk based on his inner robot, not the Pretender shell. You have Tidal Wave, which is kind of a surprise entry for a G1 baseline, and then you have Magnus Prime, who is just a recolored Super Jinrai from the Takara line. All right, we'll start out with Pounce. So as I mentioned, he's part of the Pounce and Wingspan duo. They're a pair of Decepticon clones, which means that they're robots that have 2 completely different alt modes, but nearly identical robot modes. It was a neat little gimmick back from the 80s. They've remade the toys for the Titan's Return line, and when I say remade, instead of like some sort of reimagining, these are pretty much the G1 toys, just given some new articulation, modern engineering. So it's really cool to see them make a comeback. All right, his transformation being a basic class is pretty simple. Lift up his little tail flap thing, pull the tail in, bring his legs down, flip those in. Get head back, try to robot head around. And bam, we got Pounce. Yeah, again, he's simple, but he is just a perfect update of the original 80s toy. Whenever Wingspan finally does come out, it's set to be a Walgreens exclusive, I'll kind of bring this guy back out and take a nice look at the two of them together. All right, here's Metal Hawk. He is a redeco of Titan's Return Trigger Happy with a new faceplate for his Titan Master to make him look more like Metal Hawk. He's got his very X-Wing looking vehicle mode here. No new surprises there. Just interesting new colors on the mold. One thing I decided I'm going to be doing different from now on. In most cases, I'm not going to be recording myself transforming them, just to save on time. I've noticed a lot of my review videos run for like over 30 minutes, which is a long time to ask somebody to sit down and watch you play with toys and talk about them. So I'm going to be skipping transformations unless there's like just something specific I want to show you, or it's just a very simple transformation, doesn't take up much time. So I'm going to go ahead, transform this guy to his robot mode now. Alright, this is Metal Hawk's Titan Master. He is his robot mode is a straight redeco of Trigger Happy's Titan Master. Only difference being the new robot face there. This guy, like all of the Titan Master partners in these box sets, goes unnamed in like the packaging or, poster or anything. But due to the Trypticon Crunch poster that got released at HasCon, people are pretty positive they know the name of this guy, which is Professor Go, which for any like Japanese fans out there, they know that Professor Go was the scientist that Metal Hawk worked with in the Super God Master Force cartoon. So it was a neat little nod there to, nice obscure reference. All right, this is Metal Hawk's robot mode. It is a nice... They chose a nice body to, use for Metal Hawk to kind of evoke his old inner robot from G1. The head sculpt is very nice. It's very Metal Hawk. And, the arms kind of double as the blue antennae that are supposed to be on his head there. He's got this really nice shade of gold, which should make any collector nervous. I know Hasbro has said that they've since fixed the whole gold plastic syndrome problem, but, we'll find out. We'll find out if they really fixed it. Give it 5, 10, 20 years, and if this guy crumbles to dust, well, we'll know they got some work to do. You'll notice that his wings are actually blue plastic that are painted red. I'm not sure why. Oh, and then his shoulders are red plastic that are painted blue. It must be just something with the mold that they used. They had to do it that way. Here he is with his mold mate Trigger Happy, just so you can kind of see the difference between these two. Yeah, this mold has been a favorite amongst, fans and collectors alike. It's gotten a lot of praise, so it is good to see it get a little more use and to be used for a more obscure character. All right, the third figure we're looking at is Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave is a redeco / new head retool of Broadside from Titan's Return. Just like Broadside, he does come with the little mini aerial bots that can, peg all over him. They're done up in black this time, so I don't know if they're meant to be the aerial bots still, someone else, evil aerial bots, who knows. You can see he's got his little Titan Master along for the ride there. It's like one optional configuration for his carrier mode. You can alternatively collapse his tower section here and give his Titan Master a place to sit up top. One thing you're going to notice, Tidal Wave is not done up in his traditional North American toy colors. He's done up in the anime / Japanese toy colors of mostly purple. I guess it's neat because it's the first time we're getting a Tidal Wave over here in the US that uses that color scheme. It is a shame because I do like to consider the Generations toys, especially from like Thrilling 30 onward, to be part of like essentially IDW versions of the characters. And unfortunately, this whole toy is just way, way off from his IDW interpretation. IDW Tidal Wave looks pretty much exactly like original toy Tidal Wave just with whale bits hanging off of him instead of ship bits because he turns into a whale in IDW. All right, being a redeco of Broadside, Tidal Wave also has a drastically out of scale airplane mode. Definitely not the strong point of this mold. Yeah, it's an improvement over the original Broadside's plane mode if you've ever seen that abomination, but still not very pretty to look at. But yeah, I mean, it's simple. It looks like a plane enough. His Titan Master can sit in the cockpit here, which, you know, opens. It could also sit in the turret if it wants to. Not a whole lot to see in this mode. It's kind of a brick. No landing gear or anything. Here's his Titan Master, whose name is widely believed to be Fathom, because of the whole nautical theme. Just like Blunderbuss, he is a redeco of Sovereign, at least his robot mode. And he's got this cool little Tidal Wave head here. Very neat. Alright, this is Tidal Wave's robot mode. For what he is, he's a very cool looking robot. Yeah, he's not accurate to the original and all that, but as a toy, he's great. I love the way he looks. I think the colors work really well in this mold. I love the head sculpt. I don't know if this is a widespread issue, but on my copy of the toy, I cannot, for the life of me, get these to lock down in place. Normally, you know, you'd have to press this little button right here on his belly to get these to pop up, but there's no latch mechanism in there. I don't know what happened with that. Broadside works. A little finicky, but it works. Tidal Wave does have a hole in the back of his pelvis for flight stand right there. Normally, you can't get to it with his little, like, panel sitting flush, so you have to lift it up a little bit to get the flight stand in there. It's unfortunate, but not a big deal. All right, here he is next to Broadside, just for comparison's sake. Yeah, again, the molds are basically the same thing. Vastly different colors, though. You know, one definitely looks like a Decepticon, one definitely looks like an Autobot. Before I move on to Magnus Prime, I'm going to cover Thunderwing. So his little Titan Master body is colored to resemble Thunderwave's inner robot form. And he is die-cast, just like Rodimus Prime from the other box set. His torso and faceplate. Roll up into his head mode. You can see his head mode is based on the IDW version of the character. It's kind of the monstrous face there. The pack-in story from the box set actually hints at Tidal Wave being the person that inevitably wins over, like, Thunderwing's power. So here's the two of them combined. The colors work very well together. Actually looks like it's meant to be a body for Thunderwing. Very cool. Looks good whether you got Tidal Wave's head on there or Thunderwing's. All right, last but not least, we have Magnus Prime. Now, this guy's identity is questionable. He obviously looks pretty much exactly like Super Jinrai / Power Master Optimus Prime. His name Magnus Prime hints at him being either some new character or some form of Ultra Magnus. His bio describes him as being a city commander and saying he has like rocket launchers, which seems to hint at him being some sort of Ultra Magnus. And when this guy's like info was leaked, the leak purported him to be basically a Power Master Optimus Prime in Ultra Magnus colors. Obviously that didn't happen, but it may have been something planned early on. So, I don't know what he's supposed to be. I mean, he sounds like a Magnus, looks like an Optimus. I don't know. So, with this guy, I'm going to be constantly comparing him to Power Master Optimus Prime from Titan's Return. Just so you guys, just to kind of highlight the differences. Because they're subtle, but there's a lot of them. All right, so this is the two of them together. Right off the bat, I'm sure you can notice a few things. The cab fronts are completely different. This one's more stylized. This one's more reminiscent of the original toy. Magnus Prime has new guns that are made to resemble the original toys. Power Master Optimus Prime just reuses the weapons from Ultra Magnus, which is what both of these molds are initially based off of. A lot of differences in coloration. He, I think, is made to resemble the original Power Master Optimus Prime a little bit, especially with like the brownish, grayish, or yellowish grayish. He is, I don't know, animation accurate maybe? Alright. The other big differences are the trailers and the way they're constructed. Kind of see there. He reuses a lot from Ultra Magnus, including the feet. This guy, a lot of his stuff is brand new. These are the same, little double-barreled guns. Just like Optimus, his Titan Master can store inside of his cab and also fall out of it, apparently. So his helmet actually has a little slot which forms like a seat for him. So you can just kind of sit in there, which is neat. His new rifles, oh, I'm messing everything up. Messing it all up. Can actually combine somehow. Oh yeah, wait, yeah, like this. I wouldn't mess with this too much because you are like rubbing paint together, so it's bound to rub off eventually. But yeah, they combine into a larger weapon that can see the Titan Master. And then I suppose you can just like, mount it on the side here. Yeah, it's good to have. His Titan Master kind of takes an unexpected turn with his coloration. It's a big departure from the Apex or Jinrai colors from Hasbro car releases. Not sure why they decided to make him so different. I don't know. Oddly enough, again, he isn't officially named, but according to the Triptychon poster, it seems that his name is actually supposed to be Jinrai. Further confusing this guy's identity. Who knows who he is? He's like Jinrai if Ultra Magnus was his Transtector or something. Okay, this is getting annoying. Stop it. Here, compare him to Optimus's guy, who's called Apex. And one big change between these two is they actually went and molded him when they did the Super Jinrai version of this. Entirely new faceplate, whereas this is meant to be some sort of either mouth plateless Optimus or Pax. This is based strictly off of Jinrai's smaller robot form, his cab robot form. Much shinier blue paint, as you can see. Alright, this is base mode. Alright, here he is compared to Optimus. One thing you'll notice is that he casts a pretty significantly different silhouette just based on the changes they made to the mold. His little tower doohickeys here come up a lot further. His little chest bit rests much lower to the ground. And finally, here's his robot mode. Whoop. Little top heavy. He is very impressive looking. His new feet do allow him to take on some more dynamic poses. They don't get in the way as much as the other feet, Optimus's. He has been reworked to be just much truer in design to the original toy. Alright, here he is compared with Optimus. The robot mode is where the differences really shine through. So the big things you'll notice, the little chest piece is completely different. It's even got like a fake Power Master molded into it. New guns again, completely new feet pieces. His whole like lower arm sections have been redone, completely new, including hands that actually just have regular 5mm holes in them, vice the little claw hands that he has, which holds his weapons much more securely. Little panels are different there. This guy is very similar in appearance to the Japanese version, the Super Genrai version. The biggest difference, aside from some slight shade, slight hue differences, is right here. The little codpiece area is blue, whereas it's not with the Japanese version. This guy, Magnus Prime, whoever he's meant to be, is definitely the best Power Master Prime toy of recent time. I like this toy, but in the end, he just kind of came off as lazy to me. The fact they didn't rework the feet to make him more stable, the fact they just gave him Ultra Magnus's same guns that just look ridiculous because they lack the extra pieces needed to actually combine into a hammer like Magnus's, which was the whole reason he had these awkward looking weapons. This is the quintessential version of the toy. To me, it's objective. Let me go ahead, put Magnus next to the two of them so you can kind of see the evolution of the figure. Alright, and here's the evolution of the mold. You have the original. You have the half-hearted recreation. And then you have the masterpiece. One thing to note also, I see him standing side by side. Magnus Prime is a fair bit taller than Optimus, just because of his new feet. Alright, so this has been the Titans Return Siege on Cybertron box set. Overall, I'm really impressed by what they did with the set. I love them just kind of plucking obscure characters from all across, the franchise's history. I do absolutely love the Magnus Prime toy. Yeah, the only thing negative I could say about this set is that it makes me sad that we're not getting any more of these, because I would gladly drop $100 each time if they continue to impress me with sets like this. So, yeah, let me know what you think of this, of, the review, of the toys themselves. I love hearing back from you guys. And have a good night.